What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and with me, as always, is Shannon Tynes
What's up? What's up?
and LeVon Maynard.
What up?
What's going on? So today's discussion uh, episode. Throughout the week, we talked about VMware having a humongous vulnerability that was recently patched. So we discussed that, and then the following episode, we discuss the Department of Energy asking for more of that money to provide, cybersecurity jobs as well as just better defense in depth. So we go into that, and then today I posed the question: does crime pay? Basically, apparently it does, but there's some risk involved. So off the threat post. I'm looking at an article called, I think I'm pronouncing the criminal cartel, whatever you want to call them, ransomware group, the cyber gang, Fin7, Fin7. I'm old. It could be said some other way. I don't know, but Fin7, end quotes, pen tester headed to jail amid $1 billion in payment card losses. This article is written by Tara Sills, and it goes into talking about organizations I did not know about. But they refer to themselves as, I believe, again, Fin7, but they're also called the Carbonak Group or the Navigator Group out of the Ukraine, right? So the Department of Justice finally sentenced Andrei Kolpakov, there we go, Kolpakov, there it is, Andre with two eyes. They hit him with a fine of $2.5 million in restitution for their $1 billion payment card. I guess I don't know what you would call it, carnage tirade raid. Like they're beating up these point of sale systems to a tally of $1 billion. So he himself has to pay back $2.5 million, and they sentenced him to 7+ years in jail. So. Risk versus reward, right? Does crime pay? Is the question. You've got $1 billion for his quote unquote pen testing skills, and he has to pay a restitution of 2.5 million back and 7 years in jail. So 7+ years in jail. So what do you guys think?
Yeah, it sounds like they were able to snag him up. I'm sure there's plenty of other people that kind of slide underneath the radar, but it's good that they kind of snag this one up. But I was looking at the article. I've seen some of the little information about him. It looks like like you described earlier, they call him a pen tester, because I guess his role was to like identify the vulnerabilities in companies like networks, and then they send like another squad of people to like, okay, you guys are the infiltrators. You guys are going to actually go in there and actually cause the chaos. So you're going to access the inner workings of the network or whatever you can do to make things hard on them. And that's all on here. I know it's kind of a popular method of infiltration, but they were talking about how they were using specially crafted emails that look like they came from somebody important inside their company, and people would click on it and pretty much open up access points for hackers to get in. So that's something that people got to be aware of. I mean, those emails are like, I think I read somewhere, I forgot the stat, but it's like one of the main ways that people get into networks is through like emails, through like these like spam emails, or these like they just have like some random website or some URL that you click on, and all of a sudden you're downloading some application from this website, and now that's just the portal for everybody to get in, hop in there and grab all your tokens, all your authentication pieces, and just get access to the whole network. But yeah, it's good that this guy got hemmed up. I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, we talked about in the last show that we need to spend some more money on these cybersecurity projects. And I saw here in the article also mentioned how there's like a high list or list of some high profile victims, including Arby's, Chili's, Chipotle, Mexican Grill, Jason's Deli, and Red Robin. And it's like
Mm,
they're going after all these like uh restaurants. It seems like that's like the go-to spot. I don't know if there's something about that. They're not going to like, I don't know, Best Buy or like Walmart or
right.
like Circuit City when that was a thing. I don't know, but it looks like they have their list of companies that they want to go after. But you have some thoughts on this as well, Shannon? What you think?
So I do. So like, does crime pay? I'm gonna say no, right? First off,
Yeah,
because
right.
here's the thing. Even though he was paid for his services, that's 7 years he'll never get back. Like
Mm,
that's one of those things where it's like that time cannot be refunded. I don't know if he's a family man or anything like that. He could be a single guy. Either way, he's losing privileges either way, right? He doesn't spend the time with his family or the single life he so loved that this this lifestyle afforded to him, he's not going to enjoy for 7 years. Now, mind you, he's not in a gulag somewhere, right? So it won't be that bad for him probably because it's American prison. You know what I mean?
Right.
right.
But
So,
but
right.
I don't
They
want
got
to say
yeah,
I don't want to say it like
yeah.
it's that bad, but they got cable in there. I don't have cable, so
Right, right.
but
Put them in that minimum security prison with
yeah,
the tennis courts and the
yeah,
Oh, club fam. Yeah, I was gonna say it's a white collar crime. So did he get federal prison? I wonder. I
I
would
don't
assume
know.
so.
I don't know.
yeah.
So here's the thing with the amount of money that it is, I would venture to guess maybe it is federal, right? Because he was extradited from Italy, right?
Mm.
So like they're not doing that for any state crimes, you know what I'm saying? So was it Italy or where was he was extradited from? Spain,
Uh,
Spain,
Spain. Yeah.
Spain. Yeah, that's where it was. So, but yeah, crime does not pay. Like I said, even though he may have made money doing this and gone well for him. That 7 years you'll never get back. That's just time lost that you can. There is no going back. Like Doc Brown hasn't come up with the DeLorean yet to go back
That's
to the
right.
future to where he can get that time back. You know what I mean? Maybe meet his mom in the past, whatever. but that's the plot of the
They get
movie.
hit on. Yeah.
Yeah, so she fall in love with him. You know what I mean? All right, we went too far off. I went too far. I went too far. But so here's the thing, though, right? So like the places you mentioned, though, Levon, maybe it's easier because when you think about it, right? When we go to a restaurant, what do? Like we just
Mm,
hand our credit card over to a server, let them go do their magic or whatever, come back for the
right.
receipt, sign it. You know what I mean? I mean, you can
Yeah.
still do cash or whatever, right? But I mean,
Hmm.
that's probably fading. There's probably not a lot of people doing cash nowadays like that. But
Right.
yeah, I
Right.
think that's why it's easier for them because they can affect those systems in the restaurant, right? And like you're none the wiser. Like the person like, and we should think more on this, right? And like, I know the restaurant industry is going through a tough time right now when it comes to hiring and getting people back. At least in America.
Hmm.
But that's just something we don't really think about. You know what I mean? Just I hand my card over. They could be writing down my number. You know what I mean? Somewhere to take it later. It could be the server doing that. And I don't
Right.
want to sit here and say the service industry is doing that all across the board or anything like that. Like I've had people in my family that have done those jobs and whatnot that I believe to be honest people, but we just don't think about it, and I think that's why it's an easier target. You know what I mean? Chipotle's a little bit different, right? Like Chipotle is one of the ones you do the system yourself right there. But again,
Yeah.
if it's
Right.
a protected system, you don't think anything about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking that maybe they just overlap and in that they're using the same point of sale systems. Like when you franchise, you have to buy certain things. So it's like if your
Mm,
competitor is using X, then you probably would use X as well. So they probably all had similar systems. They probably all have similar emails they send to their employees and what have you. Like it's probably like a cut and paste type thing. And they're like, oh, we're in, we got in
right.
one. And then now, like you said, Arby's, Chili's, Chipotle, like that's the outlier though, is the Chipotle. Jason's Deli. I remember Jason's Deli. That was Virginia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they probably all have very similar point of sale systems. I thought that was changing though. Over like there seemed to be a wave of restaurants that started to give you the device, like so you'd have like a tablet at your table that your kids could play with or whatever, but you can also pay your bill at it as well. But it kind of dropped off before I left the states. Like I was seeing it, like if you go to like Uno's and places like that, they had them, but I don't think it really
Yeah.
caught on. Because
So
yeah, that would take some of the magic out of it, right? Where you hand the card off to the server and then they disappear with it.
they still have them, but they just don't ever work. It seems like.
Oh, they're always
So
down.
it's like
Gotcha.
it's at the table. They're like, oh yeah, it's not working. I'll take care of it. You know what I mean? Or that could be
Mhm.
what they're telling me to get my credit card number. I don't know.
Right,
Right.
right.
I'm
Oh, it's not working. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But no,
But yeah,
they definitely still have those though. They definitely
Yeah.
still
okay.
have.
Yeah. I've only
Yeah.
seen those at like a couple spots like you mentioned. I think I said like maybe Red Robin and like maybe
Mhm.
like a Chili's or something like that. Some of
Yeah.
some of those chain ones, but
Yeah.
they're not as prevalent
And here's
from what I've seen.
and here's another thing you have to think about, right? Because of COVID, like I've sat down at a couple restaurants recently. They started taking those off the table. So like there's
Mm,
a lot of stuff they're taking off the table now because
right.
of
That's
COVID.
Oh,
true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're not on the tables anymore like they used to be. And again, that could be a COVID thing. I'm guessing it's a COVID thing, right? Because I didn't
Yeah.
see them anywhere. So it wasn't just my table and I didn't get one. I wasn't seeing them at all.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I mean, maybe as we come out of the whole COVID stage, like all that stuff will start getting back on the table. Even the condiments, like they don't keep
Mhm.
ketchup and stuff like that on the table anymore either. From the
Yeah.
couple times I've sat down at a restaurant, right? Like I just recently started going back out again to do all that. So
right.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's starting to open
Before I
up a little bit
left,
more.
yeah, I was gonna say before I left, in Florida, they didn't even hand you a menu. Like you had to scan
Mm.
the menu
yep,
of the
Q
code,
code,
what's it called? QR
Q,
code.
Q codes, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then it would pop up with the menu and whatnot. So, but yeah, we've gone completely on side tangent. Excuse me. But yeah, it seems as though, yeah, they have overlapping systems. Is probably how they got in there. But $1 billion affected all 50 states. Like they were getting it in. I never even heard of them. That's what's so crazy about it. Like their name wasn't as popular as, Dark Side or what was the other one? Not the state
Revel,
actors.
Revel.
Yeah, Revel. Yeah, Revel. Then you have like your state actors, like your Cozy Bear and your Jade. I forget what the nomenclature is, but usually Jade is the Chinese organizations, and then like Russia's always named after like bears and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, now we have Fin 7. Like they're probably pretty much disbanded. Like they took their key component, man. This pen tester, he's gone.
Mm.
But interesting article.
Yeah.
Interesting. He only had to pay 2.5 million in restitution. So when they say a billion, I assume that they're also talking about um, run over costs, like to bring the network back up, to secure it. Like they didn't steal $1 billion worth of code hard cash, but they caused $1 billion worth of damage as well
Right.
in their wake. So man, that's why his restitution was so low. I always wonder about that. So if you put me in jail and you hit me with a $2.5 million fine, you're not going to get that money for the 7 years, right? And then after I have to find a job, but I've checked the felon box, so I can't.
Right.
How do I ever pay you back? But I guess you shouldn't steal. that's the
Yeah. That's the moral of the story.
that's the moral of the story. Don't steal, and you won't have to do all that. So, but I thought that was pretty interesting. So crime, like Shannon's officially stamped that crime does not pay. But how many
Kids out
wave
there,
runners?
listen.
How many wave runners could he have bought? No
Yeah.
one frowns on the wave runner. Maybe he's already made up that 7 years of wave runner time. I don't
Right.
know. But
But you never know when that time is coming where they're gonna come scoop you up out of Spain, right? So you may
Yeah.
not have lived the life that you wanna live, right? You may not have lived your best life up to that point. You know what I mean?
they did catch him in Spain. I mean, you might have caught him on a yacht.
That's true.
That yacht money.
To get that yacht.
But now he's in prison. So don't steal kids. With that being said, thank you, Shannon. Thank you, LeVon. It's always a good time discussing these crazy articles. Hit us up at the website, www.theothersideofthefirewall.com. We can get to all of our social medias. I also list them in the description. Hit us up personally. So ask me a question. I also have the Ask Assist P I try to do every week. I've not done the past couple of weeks. Just a lot of stuff coming in. I do have some topics I want to push out though. So I may do that this week. I was able to net a part-time position somewhere. So I kind of want to discuss what I did to get that and what you may want to do to tweak your resume if you want to do the same. But tune in if you want to hear about it. and I actually have to make the episode. So let's see how that goes. So hit me up personally at RY Security Guy. That's RY Security Guy. I'm on Clubhouse, LinkedIn, Twitter, and IG. Remember to ask me those questions. And LeVon,
Hit me up on the Twitters at LeVon Manning.
there it is. Stay safe and stay secure.
Take care.